Hello, anybody who's actually here. Don't know if anybody's here yet. Looks like Kevin is floating around. Um, we get everything plugged in here. Okay, we got that on live. We go there. Now we got 4 people, so hello, just good evening, everybody. We're gonna go as long as we can. Mama's pretty quiet right now. Subject to change without notice, but we're gonna give her a shot. Gonna work on the pick for GTO some more tonight. Still a long way to go on it. I'm gonna try to get the bare metal foil done on it so that I can put a clear on it so that I can actually start working on the roof. I just put some black paint on it just so I could see what it was gonna look like. It's just a black acrylic paint. I mean, it even scratched off in a couple spots. But hey, Red. Hey, Andrew. So that's what we're gonna work on for a while this evening. Um, maybe work on the chassis a little bit, and then I haven't even started the interior bucket yet, so we got a ways to go. Also, I picked out. I think I picked out some tire. I'm using the rally wheels out of the kit, but I picked out different tires. Yeah, I picked out some different tires for it out of my spares. Something that looked better than the AMT mudders that come in all the AMT MPC mudders that come in all these old kits. So that's what we're gonna do. And if you want to come in, hey Tim, the link is pinned at the top. You got a working microphone and we know who you are, you're more than welcome to come in. Yeah, and that's the way that goes. Just came back, kind of tired, sore. Spent most of the day in the pool today. Took my mom up there to kind of calm her down. So thanks, Kevin. Took her up there to kind of calm her and distract her, but it seemed to work for now. We'll see what happens an hour from now or 2 hours from now. I gave her nighttime pills, so she should be falling asleep for too long. All right. Okay, I got another sheet of foil, so we should be good there. Yeah, I do have all the decals on the body. I've got the wing. The wing is painted. It's sitting over there. I'm not going to put it on until after everything has been cleared and finished, because that's just something extra to get broke off, and the bumpers and front grill and all that good stuff. I got that. I got our hood ready for clear. That's that. I've even started the interior. This is the engine out of the '66 Nova, but I did added an alternator bracket and added a 3D printed carburetor that I got from Matthew over there at MCV. And we have, there's Red. How you doing tonight? Can you hear me? I can see you and I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. No. I didn't know
Like to watch the Speed Racer. Here he comes. Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels.
it's just something keep in the background. Playing on mute. Yeah. I haven't been doing anything. I just haven't had any motivation out there.
I just haven't had time with Mom. She hasn't slept in the last 3 days, so
Oh,
if
my.
she's not sleeping, then it's hard for me to sleep because
I can imagine.
it's basically like watching a 6-year-old. I mean,
Did she wander off sometimes?
yeah, she has in the past. We have a ring camera. I have a ring camera thing mounted on the front door, So if she does decide to go walk about, at least I get a ping, ping, ping on my phone. So that helps. But yeah, we're
Yeah, Candace,
probably 3 or 4 weeks before she has to go to the nursing home. We're just trying to keep her home and happy as long as possible.
right. Yes, it's easier for them at home than to be in a nursing home, with strangers and everything. It's hard enough, when they're around people they know, or people they're supposed to know.
Right now, we're basically none of the local assisted living, nursing home, memory centers have an open bed. So we're kind of
Right.
waiting. Got to kind of wait for that, for them to have a space. And we're taking it day by day because, I mean, the longer she can stay out and stay happy, the longer, the better stuff she's going to be. So, which means I'm on like 20-hour days right now. So if she's up, I'm up. So I don't get a whole lot of stuff done.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Kevin's been here all week too. I mean, I haven't been able to.
We're supposed to get rain here tonight. It's been kind of cloudy all day, but a little bit windy. But it's hot too. It's 90-something degrees outside right now.
Right. Just down here at Dive, we had a 7 degree day. They start bitching moaning when it gets 80.
Oh, so do I. I don't like. I can handle being cold a whole lot better than than the heat.
Me too. But like I said, I'm in Minnesota, but I come from South Carolina, so to me, these people don't know anything about us. Summer. You can take this weather and bottle it up and sell it. I'll tell you.
Even up in Alaska, they're having a heat wave. They had to have heat advisories posted in Alaska the last couple of days.
Wow, that's unusual. We had a day last week. Yeah, last week when it was like 75 the day before, and then the next day it didn't get above 50. Kind of make you sick. Yeah?
Yeah, we pretty much been at least 65 to 70 during the day for low temps. At night it gets a little bit colder, but yeah, we're entering full blown summer here starting this week, I do believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they call it night wandering. They tend to at night. It's almost like they're sleepwalking. The brain kind of goes on to autopilot. They don't even know she doesn't even know what she's doing half the time at night like that.
There's Jessica need to show up. Question
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah, they were. I know they were over on the Zoom site earlier.
Yeah, I saw where I got an invite. I didn't see it till when I tell you I got it again at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's
too
open.
much, man.
It's open 24/7. I mean, so anybody that has the link can go in and and have their own use the space, and then or if anybody's already in there, just share space and talk and hang out and stuff. And it's not broadcast, so you don't have to be as careful about what you say, or you know, if you want to talk about things like pew pews and things like that, and nobody's gonna. The eBay police or eBay, the YouTube police are not going to come after you. eBay police might.
Right.
They want their hands in everything. But yeah, if you have the link, or you can get it from me. If you don't, you can get it from either Jeff or Dan. And anytime you want, you can go in there and.
I've got it saved to my desktop.
Yeah. You can just go in there anytime. I just go sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. If I've got nothing to do, I'll just open it up and see if anybody's in there to chat with. Or a couple nights, late nights, I've been in there working on this, and then just had it turned on in the background. But so if anybody happened to pop by, they could jump in.
Yeah, the invite, Jeff. Like I said, it was like I was during that time, man. I sleep too.
Hey JB, how you doing? Yeah, Jeff said he sent you the invite for that. So you said you had it bookmarked.
Yeah, I've got it bookmarked.
And they've got a through Facebook too, through Facebook Messenger. They got it set up in there so people can send messenger messages that saying, you know, somebody's in there, or if you want to ask if anybody wants to come in and all that good stuff.
You working on something, Jeff? Wow. I mean, I can't say anything. I haven't worked on anything.
I haven't touched this several days. Yeah, since Saturday was the last time I messed with it. I don't like that piece. Let's start over. And I got my Chevelle ordered for the do Melba toast. That should be here in about the time I get this one done. We should have that one. I don't know if I'm gonna do that right away, but it should be here. For the Dazed and Confused build. But I don't know, I might do something completely different as the next build. I haven't built a plane in a while, so I may bust out a plane. Yeah, little chunks of bare metal foil stuck all over me for the next 2 days.
If I finally bare metal foil, and I've never used it, so I see the results with it. But I've never used it.
As I cut off the little offcuts and slivers, I kind of tend to wad them up in my fingers. So you end up with all these tiny little beads of sticky aluminum all over the place.
Right.
So for the next 2 days, every time I move or something, there'll be one stuck to my arm hair or on my shirt, or be picking them out of the dryer for the next couple of days, you know.
I bought a sealed Johan Pinto funny car. It hasn't in yet, but I'm not sure if I give too much for it or not.
Well, Jeff would be the one to know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Because I wouldn't, because I have a hard time paying any more than $30 or $40 for a kit that I really, 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 really got to have.
Yeah, I give a little bit more than that for this, but I didn't give much. I give 55 for it. That seemed fairly reasonable. You know, just was what, $15 more than the kit cost?
Because I'm a collector. I'm not a builder. I'm not a collector. So
Well,
I'm making everybody more valuable, because if I get a kit, I'm going to build it.
well, I intend to build this. Not the good one, but the other one, Crazy Horse Pinto. Hang on, I'll put it up. Here. This
That looks cool.
is sealed. It's sealed, man. But I lowballed him off of 55.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, I don't have no buyer's remorse or anything. I did all right, man. 55 bucks.
Well, try again. It didn't want to share.
All right, I did all right then.
So, Red, if you go to the second link I just posted, they got that exact kit you just showed at Spotlight Hobbies for 75 and shipping.
Yes, I did right then. I got 55.
So
Like it's fairly cheap too.
yeah, they got that version, and I don't know if that was the first version or the second version of that kit, because they also have the purple box art one that was eBay one. That guy was asking stupid money.
All right.
And by the way, you now owe me a 67 to a 69 Ford Falcon that you got for a finder's fee, and Bob gets 10% cash.
I've been thinking about what I want to trade for that. I really have.
I got some stuff you'd probably like.
I know you do. You got a pretty good stash.
Yeah. It's just plastic, like Bob said. It's just plastic. It's only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it at the end of the day. And sometimes I'm stupid, and
Right?
sometimes let me rephrase that. Sometimes I'm Kevin Smith, and sometimes I'm smart enough not to be Kevin Smith. I'm kidding, Kevin. I'm kidding. I don't want you getting your knickers in a wad. Because I was watching from TV, because I can't see any of the comments.
Man, I need a haircut.
But yeah, that spotlight one's pretty good. I'd go to that. Like I said, Bob could bring probably link up again. I'm not smart enough to do that through StreamYard, so
Yeah, I saw it. I went to Spotlight used pretty right on the prices, I think. You know.
I mean, you got to double check. Sometimes they're sold before you know it, and are taken down.
Yeah, it says out of stock. It
Okay,
says out of
hold on.
stock from them.
Let me see.
But on the Johanner's, two issues in that box. The first issue was a Mickey Thompson, I think. That's worth a lot. The same kit, looks like.
All right, how's this one? Give me a second. I am going to link it. Trying to figure out how to get back to. Oh no, I gotta go back one.
Hey, Ted. Mark.
They say you get off till you call, hey. Bad. I just saw that. You got this.
Right, okay. Now I'm in the back in the right tab. I got about 5 of them going, trying to figure out what's what. But yeah, that one right there on eBay, I believe
Yeah,
that's it.
it's already out. They got this one, man. Maybe it wouldn't.
Yeah, that said, guy said 45. Go channel through, check it. I don't know if it's all there because I'm on my phone. So
It doesn't have it laid out anywhere. Just got to open the box with it. Shot in the box.
well, can you scroll down to see if there's something more than just a box? Because you can see more pictures there.
Yeah, there's there. I mean, but you know, like I said, he didn't have it all laid out. It's just shot down into the box, showing to be set on top of the chrome, set up of the one of the other trees. Got the instructions and the glass out.
I mean, yeah, that's not that's because you got 3 iterations of one with the original,
Right?
one with Seville, and then somebody did a 3rd boxing of it. By the way, happy birthday, Boston Buds. I can hear him talking, but I can't hear a thing, and I only can see you two on screen right now on YouTube. So, but then again,
Yeah.
I think I'm behind. So, I'm caught up. Never mind. That was rude.
YouTube all lags like hell. Compared to
I'll
the
actually
streaming.
got you guys on my TV as we speak. So, all right. Well, like I said, you know my email address. If anything I can do and help, we'll get it out and get
Right?
it done. But like I said, for that 45, that's not a bad deal.
No, that's $10 less than what I gave. If I saw that one, I'd have bought it. But I don't know, that's my big purchase for this month.
So hopefully that will help you guys and have a great rest of your night. I like Bob, so I'm not going to kill it alive.
Hey, fine. We're just hanging. I'm getting
No,
ready.
that
I'm
was a
doing bare
joke
metal
for
foil.
somebody watching. They kind of replied that where I was in chat last night that it'd probably go sideways, but yeah. You're welcome, Boston. And again, y'all have a good rest of your night.
Are you leaving?
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch on YouTube. I'm gonna grab something to eat. Take my cat for a while, and
You sound kind of tired.
yeah, I have been out nonstop since last week. So yeah, today was a good day off. Glad I didn't get stuck in the rain mowing. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put a full day in tomorrow or not. It's up to me.
Right?
So, all right. Have a good one, guys.
You
All
too.
right. Good night, Jeff.
Hey, Sluggo, how you doing?
Thanks, Leo. Yep. When I got home from school every day, we'd watch Speed Racer and Johnny Quest.
Oh, Johnny Quest, man. Hey, that's one of my favorites since I was a kid.
They were on afternoon cartoons on our independent TV station here. So when you got home from school, that's
Kiss that. I wonder how much else you want to go for. I did. Yeah.
just 1 second.
Yeah, I just thought it's something interesting.
I always wanted to get one of those when I was a kid, but it was never in the cards, I guess.
Right? I'm just curious what it's going for, man. What I got to watch. But,
The visible V8 one. Yeah, I was
no,
gonna get one of those.
no, that's the one I feel accessory. It's the same. Changing out the Big Deuce. They had a set of different hot parts for that thing. Uh, for the scale hot rods on there. I think visible one is 1/6 or 1/4 scale. %, humidity here. Man.
Yeah, it's probably about that here because it's supposed to storm tonight, so it probably looks like the thunder clouds are starting to build out there in the west.
Yeah, my air conditioner running, but I can't really tell it's cooling me any, so humid. I was wondering about that one. So does it fit? Hey, Kev, when I was a kid, I got the Bill Winkle from selling Christmas cards. I think it was back in comic book. Here you go, buds.
Oh man. No, is it Boston's birthday? If it is so, happy birthday. Happy birthday. There you go. We may have to redo the decals on this thing. Which would suck. Maybe I can fix it. Yep, that sucks. We're gonna have to replace the decals. Oh man.
And good thing you had that extra. I screwed up some Saints decals and all I got was the hood.
I didn't notice it till just now that one of them was messed up. And I don't have another one to match it. I have other decals, but they don't match. Let me see. Maybe I can. Maybe these will fit over, and it'll be like no harm, no foul. Let me try. If not, we're gonna have to pull these stripes off and start over. I got different ones, but I don't have that one that I had on there. I only had one set.
Right.
If these are the same size, I can put these over the other ones and move along like nothing ever happened. If I can find my scissors.
I got some replacement decals magnets the other day for the competition pickup.
This set came with the kit when I bought it. They're custom decals, but they came with the kit, so I have no clue if they're even still in print. We'll try and see if this one. I say I have another brand. If the decal is the same size, then we're good because I can just lay this over the other ones and call it done.
Right.
If not, we're gonna have to pull them off and redo them on with the other decals. At least as far as the stripes go. Now I have a full set for a black one. This is the only. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Ray?
Hey, hang on.
Thought I'd join you since it quit raining for a bit.
Okay.
Don't want to be out here in the rain with my new phone.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain here tonight, so you'll probably get what we get in the morning.
Yeah, it's just nonstop. See if I can get this to work for me.
That's right there. Oh,
As soon as I
And then it
tip
went
it,
back.
as soon as I tip it, it disappears. Whoop! Where am I?
Nope, I'm gonna have to pull those off.
Guess I'll leave it alone.
I got Scotch tape here or not?
I'm not echoing or nothing.
Nope, you're good.
May sound right.
Oh, my earbud ain't working anyway. I guess I should turn it off. I guess I'll stay a little every time I flip my camera. Now that everything's different on this phone. Let's see. See if I can figure this thing out. Front camera. Huh. Yeah, I better leave it alone or I'll disappear.
We know where to find you.
Yeah. You ready to walk yet, Billy? Cooper got his walk yesterday, so twice a week. So I've been taking him out. He's getting too old. My old boy. Go on. Down you go.
I need one. I need buds.
All
He
right.
tried to share his birthday, I guess. Little dab will do you, right, buds?
Yeah, just like green.
I don't know why my earbuds ain't working through this. Guess I'll just take them off.
Okay.
Hey, that's that Speed Racer movie, live action one they made. That's the best live action adaptation of an anime I've ever seen. Nobody liked him, but it was really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen Speed Racer in years.
If you get a chance at that live action movie,
Yeah, it was interesting.
I mean, you know, I really enjoyed it. Don't
Yeah, we
forget
used
the
to.
dramatic.
It was probably better for people who had never seen Speed Racer because a lot of the things were not right in it. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
as
Their
far
voice
as
never.
no, I mean,
Their
in the live
voice
action
never.
one, all the cars were like these super atomic powered cars that could
Yeah, you know, it's kind of updated
drive
and everything.
upside down and fly, and
Through the water.
I mean,
Probably.
even like 10 times more than what the old Speed Racer could do.
Oh,
Mark
really?
5 could do. These cars could do, but it was good.
You know, it was updated a little bit, but it really felt like it made. You know.
Yeah, it felt like an. It did. It did. It had that feel.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
like it was anime, but it was live action instead of being animated.
it was a fail at that, man. The Ghost in the Shell movie and the Death Note movie, yeah, but those just sucked.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
The only other one I think was a decent adaptation was that live action The Lead of Battle Angel. That was pretty good. But this time they just failed when they tried to adapt it to, live action.
Yeah.
And probably about,
There we go.
70% of that is people had expectations, because of the fans of the original.
Guess I better brace my camera before I make everybody dizzy. Yeah, try that. You'll cut half my head off. It's all right, I don't use that part of it anyway.
Hey, Jimmy.
Jimmy Oleum?
Yep.
All right. My buddy. Guess I better turn the speed down for you, huh, Billy? Not wanting to walk fast today.
So, guys, this is an emergency triage kit tip if you do something like I did and effed up one of my decals. So I got to take all three of the other ones off to replace them because I don't have
Uh-oh.
another one to match. I'm taking some
Oh, no.
masking tape. You can use Scotch tape or whatever. Put that over the top and burnish it down real good with your Q-tip. Then when you peel the tape, it will usually bring the decal with it.
Let's hope, right?
3 out of 4 so far has come off.
Huh.
Yeah, it's come.
There you go. Cool trick.
A little bit, couple little spots that I'll have to go back over, grab. The one was screwed up, so.
Just gotta hope it
The
don't
other
pull
side,
the
I got
paint
like,
with it.
nah. This Tamiya lacquer over
Oh yeah,
Mr.
that's
Hobby
not coming
primer.
off.
It ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
And it's been on there for about 2 weeks so far, so it ain't going nowhere.
Most not feel like it's more like some hash.
Old wives' tale used to say the lacquer takes 34 years to dry.
Oh no, lacquer's dry in 20 minutes usually.
I mean, fully cure. The old original lacquer you'd polish it up, get a nice shiny, and the next day it would be right back dull again. Back in the old days.
Yeah, well, they didn't have a lot of hardeners in it that they put in these
Yep.
now.
Yep.
Yeah, Tamiya's dry to the touch in 20 minutes, and
Yep.
you can wet sand and polish on it or whatever within the next day, and it ain't going
Yeah,
nowhere.
that's what I like about lacquers. I mean, and if you cut them with like a
That's right.
thinner, it acts almost just a lacquer, man. For dry time goes.
But
And clean the runs.
yeah, I've had some enamels that never did cure,
In the
especially like
20s,
a
30s. Oh,
Especially metallics from testers. I sprayed gold before, man. They come back 3 weeks later and
I
it's
must
still
have
me.
lost connection saying I did.
yeah, you were gurgling there for a second.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, good. The other ones I have 4 sets of these, so I ain't too worried about if I screw one of them up. But of course, the one I only had one of is the one I screwed up.
"23 seconds lag between I'm gonna do something the time it comes up on YouTube."
Yeah, it's on my TV. It runs about 30 seconds behind when I do something here to where
Right?
it shows on my screen. Yeah, on my TV on your Speed Racer, right now it's right when the car went through the guardrail and just now blew up. And on yours, it's already done.
Yep, title card was up. You said that.
But we're not lagging here between us, so that's the important part.
Right. Yeah, StreamYard seemed to be pretty good at it. Not much at all.
Racer X, Speed's older brother who left home years ago.
Supposedly dead. I don't actually want to run it with the sound. It's a pretty good imagery to it.
The only thing I didn't get was he was supposed to have been like injured and had surgery on his face so that he didn't look the same.
Right.
Why did he have to wear the mask so that people wouldn't know who he was?
I just got a mask at it. I don't know. It's kind of like, how does a man's disguise work? Man, a kid ain't nothing but a pair of glasses and a cat.
I guess if you can suspend disbelief, anything is possible.
Right.
And Jimmy, back in my day, we just either rolled one or you could make a pipe out of a Coke can or out of an apple. Many times we made one out of an apple.
We should have a little short corn cob pipe. But it had your strings that had the bottom of it had not gauze, but cheesecloth. You know when you got to the bottom of it.
Okay, let me grab some water and I'll be right back.
But Jimmy, it depends on what's in the bowl.
I might as well put that foil stuff away because we ain't doing no more foil tonight because I got to fix the decals.
Never did get into that, Kev. It's kind of hard to come by in the dirty South. I always thought it here Speed Racer being a Japanese cartoon, set all the characters are white.
Almost all of the Japanese anime saw the characters were white. That was a pretty common thing for them. Because that was like at the time, that was considered the ideal look. The round eyes and the pale skin. Okay, decals part 2. I think
Let's see what
better on her than the originals. So maybe it was a happy accident. These seem to fit the body lines a little better.
Well, I set my little big engine aside in disgust. I broke the magneto while trying to wire it. No deal, I can fix it real easy. But I just kind of got frustrated trying to wire it.
I've been getting ones from Morgan.
I do my own with yeah, 310 millimeter solder, but it's having a hard time getting the fit right.
I was making on my own, and I hit upon his stuff, and for $5,
Well, I don't make calculus. I got 3D printed needles they use.
That's what those are. The 3D. 3D printed and pre-wired. He's got the magnetos and he's got the distributors. He's got the EFI distributors.
How'd you get the for it painted though. Too much light. No, that's not gonna be too bad. If weed's legal in your state, you need to do is make you some butter. If you get a place you can get from mid real cheap. It's stupidly easy to make, man.
Yeah, so I was making them for the longest time, and I come across his, and so they're for $5, and they look nice. So I just like, screw it, for $5, not to spend an hour drilling them out and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I've been off my meds here over a year now. I'm supposed to Concerta, and my provider, man, he had some kind of meltdown, haven't approved. I'm not drug seeking, whatever, just whatever. So that's taking my sleep some. Can't concentrate on anything more than 15 minutes.
Yeah, happy accident. Actually, now that they're on there, I think I like these better than the ones that were there originally. Let's adjust that one a little bit. Down closer to the body line.
Was it a Firebird?
GTO.
GTO.
1970 GTO Judge. It's Pickford's GTO from Dazed and Confused.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're making. Yeah, I think I actually like, I know the light's blowing it out, but I like these stripes better than the ones that I had on there. Like, they're a better color match.
Right. Hey, they look different. picture though. It's permit.
Okay.
It reminds me, I got a body on.
Now we got 2 more GTOs to finish my GTO series. I'll have one of every year that matter.
And Zip works good.
I use the Microsoft for ones that are usually fairly flat. But if you got a lot of where they need to go around a lot of stuff, I'll use the Solva set because it's just a stronger
Soft's a lot.
stuff.
Soft's a lot stronger, man.
Yeah, this is a lot stronger than the
I saw
other
it suck. I saw it suck decals down fit over Zimmer, and if you know what that is, the military model.
Yep. But if I'm just wanting them to contour the body a little bit, I usually just use the micro saw.
Right.
And that kind of fuses them to the paint a little better, and gets rid of any of the corner edge film a little bit. Okay, so we're can't do anything more with that tonight. I'll let those decals dry. Let's see if we can work on the chassis a little bit.
Rinse this body up.
And I got another set of those that we're doing a black one. So down the road, I guess we can revisit and do a black 70. Or I can do a 71 GTO Judge in black. That would look cool too. I use the same stripe package. I might buy another one of those MPC Super Stocker 70 GTO kits for the decal sheet out of that, because it has a really cool stripes that go over the hood and trunk and over the roof. They're red and black, and they're just the same width as the hood scoops, and they run. That looks really nice.
See you later.
Okay, so I'm gonna put that away over there so we don't mess it up. And we can go ahead. We can get this in.
Yeah.
I'll dribble that. See you later, Kevin. Have a good night.
I bought the Outlaw kit the other day. What I was really bidding on was the had a bag of paint in it. Two model, two drum model master of numbers. Thinking I ended up paying more shipping than I did for the. I got it for like $10. The junkyard, you know. It looks like it's all there.
Yeah, I don't mind them rebuilders once in a while. It's kind of,
Well, this is exactly a rebuilder. This is when somebody, it's an outlaw. They obviously got frustrated with it and threw it all back.
threw it back in the box. Yeah.
Yeah, like when the paint, everything else. I don't know. It's a box of probably bid $11 on it. Yeah, like I said, it's paid more picking, but it's got 8 or 9 jars of Chester's paint that I can see in it, plus 2 jars of some kind of one's red and the other one's either blue or green jars of master. So yeah, if I get lucky, it's all. But there's parts and parts. See the wheels are all there. I see the frame rails, interior bucket, but they didn't spread it out or anything, so you can't really tell.
Yeah, I got one about a year or two ago that was a box of parts, and it was basically a C7 Corvette, and everything was there except for the body.
Except for the body.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like apparently they bought it and made a slot car out of it or something. So had all the engine and chassis parts, and
I'll do you one better. I get one of the cars, the which one is it? The anyway, I got it in. It was all there except the chassis.
yeah, well, I bought it as part, so I knew that knew that going in. But yeah, it had everything that was there but the body and the glass. So I got nice LS engine. I got wheels, independent rear suspension.
I don't mind the junkyard lot. Said parts. I probably ain't never gonna do anything with it anyway. But going by my build speed. That's how I ain't so many of those damn Tim's trucks, man. I got about 6 of those things floating here.
Wrong one. This one. Those are about worthless. Okay. Nobody's going to know that the exhaust doesn't quite mate up under there because you ain't going to be able to see it anyway.
You can't see it. You can't see it. It don't matter.
Yep. That's the way I look at it.
I mean, that's like the streamliner out of the double dragster kit. And what I did was I assembled the B, right? Got it where I can just chat down into it. There won't be no front suspension detail, but you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. So I'm just gonna like stick an axle through there with wheels on it. Because it makes it right to the body and when you do everything them same line.
What else do we need? We need a wheel for steering. There's a wheel for steering. We need some seats. I need
Make
to
sure you
look
put
at the.
and make sure you put the proper Grant GT steering wheel in that thing. I'm just
Well, actually, the one in the movie was a clone. It wasn't an actual judge. Both of the judges in there were actually clones. Neither one of them was an actual GTO judge. They were both clones.
oh well, yeah, I was just joking, man. Grant G was the cheap AutoZone replacement steering wheel people put on the bus.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of the in the movie, a lot of the interior shots were actually taken from the '68 GTO that they had on set, because it had the Hurst, his and Hurst dual gate race shifter in it, and the orange ones, one had an automatic, a basic automatic, and the other one had a 4-speed. So the ones, if you can tell it's the actual actors driving, it's the one with the automatic, because none of them could drive a 4-speed.
Right.
And if the ones that are doing more stunty, there's not a lot of real stunts in that movie, but burnouts and things like that, that's all done with the one with the 4-speed. And so a lot of the interior shots were actually of the '68, not the '70. There's a video like useless knowledge about this movie.
Right.
And the cars of the movie. It's like 10 things you didn't know about Pickford's GTO. So I think is what it's called. Okay. I need to look and see. Yeah. I'm thinking in the movie, when they showed the actors in the car, the headrests were gone off the seats.
Yeah, that's pretty standard movie. Yeah, because they get in the way,
Because there's actors, there's 4 actors in the car. I'm thinking. Let me see if I can go back and verify. I think that they were not on there, which is fine. That means I just have to fill the little hole on top of the seat.
It's like in most movies, they get an interior shot of the car, they don't have that mirror.
Yeah.
Over the
Okay, and the
over
first
the
shot
windshield mirror.
does have the. Yeah. A lot of times that's a little metal tab that was glued to the windshield still on there. The mirror itself was gone. Okay, the first shot of the one car has them with headrest. Let me go find another shot of it. when the act. I may have cut those out. Yes, I did. I'll have to look on. I'll have to go back and watch the movie on Amazon again tonight. The first scene of the car in the movie opening credits or whatever, does have the headrest. But I'm pretty sure when they were with the actors in the car when they were passing their joint stuff around, that there were no headrests on the seats.
It makes sense for them to take out,
Yeah. So I guess I can go either way. I kind of like them without, but wow, they don't fit very well to begin with. And I think actually the head, well, that wouldn't have been optional at that time. I think through 68 or 69 they were optional, but I think in 70 they became standard equipment on the seats.
Right.
On the buckets, they all had the headrest. But it did not have automatic seat belts, so. So the upper one was folded up in the little clips under the headliner, and the lower ones were just shoved in the seat back most of the time.
And I had a 69 Barracuda being seat. It was a 6-cylinder car. And that thing was neat. You could pull the female part of the seat belt, part of the seat belt, across the front of the seat, and the edge of the seat, there was a place to.
So you could clip it together and stick it in.
Yeah, there was a place to buckle the belt under the edge of the seat. You could pull them straight, pull them across it, and down there and keep them away. They had a shoulder belt too, but
yeah, it was just folded up on. There was like 2 metal clips in the headliner.
Yeah.
That you could, if you didn't want it, you just folded it up in there, and it just had a adjustable sliding buckle for adjusting the length if you wanted to have it use it. But never in my life did I see anybody not racing a car have the shoulder belts on until they became automatic. Of course, then we had them goofy ones later on that were attached to your door, so that you had, an electric motor that would move it forward out of the way when you got in, and if you didn't pay attention, it would bonk you on the head.
Yeah, it was considered a passive strain.
Yeah.
Like the crash bar on a rabbit. But my 5 Barracuda, Hoover bought that, and when they bought the cheapest one they could, because it didn't have seat belts, backup lights, and a couple other things that were optional. Should really standard. We'll just wear.
Yeah, I think.
Blew my mind about the backup lights, because everything was there for the very, the bulb sock itself, and that little pigtail went with it. In the Stony, but somebody told me that just about everything on the cross was part of the optional, and that's how they kept a low price on everything.
Oh, there comes the thunder. Bigger bit.
My first real car. Well, I had 60 Toyota Crown Ace for about 4 weeks, maybe 5. Somebody running to do 9 T-boner. It's like a 60-some Impala though, man. So you have to do them hardly. You just smashed a little Toyota all to pieces.
Technically, I guess my first car was a 68 Olds Delta 88 that had come from my grandpa, but it didn't run for crap. So I ended up selling it for scrap. And I bought a 73 Vega for $300. I drove that for probably 5 years and then gave it to my aunt when I bought my 77 Firebird. And I traded that like 7 or 8 years later. I traded that straight across for 67 GTO, and the rest was history.
Yeah, I remember when nobody really wanted muscle cars. You could pick them up cheap.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, the GTO, when I bought it, the guy had converted it to be a drag car. So all the heater core was gone and was running straight pipes, and he'd put a 400 big block dual quad engine in it with a race cam and all this stuff. And he twisted the frame so he quit using it.
Right.
Well, I knew where there was another frame at, or at least the front half, so I just took it, got it traded that Firebird for it, which wasn't worth a whole lot at that time because it was kind of a rust bucket. I went and got that. I think I paid $200 for the front half of that frame on the other one. And a few weekends and some Z cuts and a little welding later, we had a straight frame on it. And I was slowly getting it back to be technically street legal, I guess. If we had a good old boys doing the inspection, I guess it was street legal. Let's put it that way. You had a stickler, then it wasn't, but because it still had race headers on it, but I just ran straight pipes out to the back and put a pair of cherry bombs on the end. So the exhaust was vented outside of the body.
We always had it cooked with a just sell us some inspection.
And it had a little in the wintertime, I'd get one of those little sterno cans and light it and set it on a dash, and that was my defroster.
Oh, defroster, right?
Yeah, because I had no heater core, so I had no heat.
Right. Well, that's better than what I had. I had a 76 pickup one time, and I forget what was the matter. It didn't have no heat, but I drove back through an ice storm, and we had to stop every few miles and chip ice off the windshield. And every one we had to stop, get off the inside the windshield.
But it wasn't my daily driver at the time. I had a 79 280Z that was my daily driver. So, but yeah, I was almost getting just about. I had it all in primer and most of the body work done. Just about ready to start buttoning it up, and got T-boned and bent that car in half. But I do believe that engine still lives on. I know the guy that bought it, and I think he still has it. And that was a badass engine. Yeah, my Vega always had the idea of putting a V8 in it, but I never got around to it. I was
It
just
was
getting out of high school and going into college, so that didn't have a whole lot of money, and didn't have the skill and the knowledge really either to do. Didn't know what I was doing at that time to be doing an engine swap to go from a 4-cylinder to an 8-cylinder, changing up front suspension and all that stuff.
right. In the 80s, there was a guy in Randomness. He did a pretty good business converting Vegas to V8. He'd go out and buy them, bring them in 350 in 'em.
Yeah, I mean, you could go to the junkyard and you get a great motor for $200
Right.
at the time. In fact, in that 77 Firebird, the transmission went out on it. And I went to the junkyard and bought a 72 Buick Skylark with a big block 350 turbo 400 transmission for $200. It had a front clip was destroyed on it. Pulled that out, swung it up, engine and trans over into the Firebird. Got it in there. We had to chain the motor down because it only had like 2 of the bolts, the motor mounts lined up. And when you, I put a low profile breather on it, but anytime you rev the engine, you can see the hood move up and down. But it would run
Yes.
like a striped-ass ape.
71 Celica I had out of the yard. Paid $50 for it. I got about 30,000 miles out of it. But the reason it's in the junk, you crank it up. It's anywhere there was a seal, you get oil coming out. Yeah, I just burn through it, man. I was 18 years old, man. I just drove the piss out of that car.
Yeah, that Skylark had been sitting in the junkyard for like 10 years. It had 20,000 miles on it, like 1982 when I bought it.
Right.
So, I did the outer gaskets and hoses, but that was it. The only thing I had to do was the 77 Firebird was set up, wires up for EFI. So we had to do a little rigging to get it to run a normal point set. And I'd have to replace the block on the coil about every 6 weeks because it would burn it. The voltage wasn't quite right and it would burn it out.
Right.
So I was told you had one. I started carrying them in the glove box. I could change that resistor block in like 10 minutes. But yeah, that's back when we could still work on cars. My car now, the alternator's going out. And in order to change the alternator, you have to take the passenger side fender well out, the splash shield. You have to lower the engine down and take the axle out on the passenger side to change the alternator.
I wonder if I got a bonus for making it hard to do. Designer. I swear it's like they make it with it's like they don't want to be able to work on your car.
Yeah, so because I mean it's virtually impossible to get to it without taking half the front end of the car off.
Right. It would be, an hour and a half job. It turns into an all day thing. It costs you, $70 an hour for $8 or $100 and $800 labor.
On my 80s cars, that was changing an alternator was a 20-minute job, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I've had a lot of Smack 6s. Man, you use the hood and get all 3 bolts right there, standing flat, put it on down, man.
Yeah,
pull it out and swap it, man.
You got 2 bolts, one the tensioner bolt and one the mounting bracket bolt, and
right.
and you might have to take the fan off because you had to loop the belt around. You might not have enough play to get the belt around all the pulleys with the fan on it, but
yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to fix it or not.
I mean, you had your starter right there, your alternator's right there.
I'm gonna look. If it's a belt, just a bad belt that broke, then I'll probably. I think I can sneak that through without having to take all of that apart. But if I got to change the alternator, yeah, you got to take that front axle out on the passenger side and the fender well and the strut and
It's a big serpentine belt drives it too, right?
no, well it is, but it just goes between the power steering and the alternator. The water pump has the water pump runs off of the timing belt, and the air conditioner runs off of the timing belt. I think if I remember right, or the air conditioner has its own belt, just the power steering and so it's got to be the alternator because I still had power steering. Either that, so it's got to be the alternator bad. So we're probably just gonna scrap it because that ain't. Or see if I can get one of my buddies that'll spend it, willing to spend the afternoon helping me and doing it for a case of beer and some barbecue.
Look, beer and some barbecue usually get a lot of work done with it.
Yeah. You got to make sure to do the work first, otherwise you may be doing it over again the next day.
Right.
Once the beer gets flowing, the work kind of slows down, or gets a little less precise. But yeah, I'll look at it and see.
I got a free 74 Light one time, and I was taking night class, and I come out there on my professor trying to get the damn thing cranked in his old car even then. If you can crank it, I'll give it to you. And what's it doing? You're running over, he was running when I got here and everything. First thing I thought, big ceramic capacitor on it, firewall.
Yeah.
Well, I knew for a fact, hell, a lot of times they'd give you some trouble. And I do is reach up there and give you a sharp with something. So I did that. I reached up over his ring and popped it real, get it right down. It cracked right up. And sure enough, the next day he came with the title and gave it to me. I absolutely didn't expect to do it, man, because it's one of them things you say, if you get it cranked, I'll give it to you. But I didn't like all of man. I hate it. But I drove it for a while. 225 slant 6 inch, and which is, I think, the weakest in the series. Not just as a horsepower, weakest as
Hey Dale.
Yeah, together. I said me those bulletproof, man. But every time I've seen the 2.5 in the junkyard, man, they had them for sale.
Hey Dale, that's the problem. I mean, you can't fix shit on them anymore.
Right.
You got to have a computer diagnostic and a lift, and you either got to drop the engine transaxle out or pull the whole front end of the motor of the car off to get to it. That's what it was to change the radiator and the fan. The whole front clip of the car had to come off when I had to do that. The radiator got a crack in it because the fan quit working and the thing overheated and cracked the plastic radiator. Luckily, it didn't warp the heads, but it did crack the plastic radiator. So that was a mess. I should have got rid of it then. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go pay the water bill. Went and checked on mom too. She's doing fine, so we're good to go there.
Well, that's good to hear.
Okay.
I'm glad you're having a calm
Share.
night.
Yeah, well, so far. Subject to change without notice.
Okay.
She tends to really have her breakdowns late at night or early in the afternoon. But I don't think she slept. I know she didn't sleep much last night, so hopefully, between being tired from not sleeping and her sleeping pill, that she will go down and stay down for the night.
I'm gonna hop off. I gotta use these. Haven't eaten since this morning.
Okay.
All right. We'll talk to y'all later. Everybody have a good night.
All right.
And I enjoyed it.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh, anytime.
Yeah. Let me see if I can check that movie reference. Should be here. Let's see if we can. I've got it muted. It'll share. If they want to demonetize me, they can, I guess. Okay, there we go. Let's see. See, there we have the headrest in that scene. I'll just watch the whole thing. It's only about 4 minutes long, so yes. If you guys can't find something in this movie, then you must have pretty strange taste. Because You'd be hard pressed not to find a car that you wanted to build that wasn't in this movie. But yeah, that short bed Chevy, that would be a cool one to build. That Buick there that one might be a tough one to find a kit of. There's a boatloads of score body Chevys and F-100s and F-150 pickup trucks in this movie. There's a bunch of Dodges in here. Dodge cars. Dodge Belvedere and GTX. Just off the top of my head, the Roadrunner, the Superbird. Roadrunner, Superbird. Boom, boom, the thunder's going. There we go. There's a Ford pickup they just passed, a yellow and white one. There's a Stingray. There's a Caddy sitting there in the corner. And here comes Melba Toast. There's a 68 Firebird. That's a Plymouth, it's a GTX. Yes, that's got the headrest on it in that scene. Volkswagen thing, a Mavericks. There's a big Oldsmobile there, but that would be for the 74 Firebird. Bunch more square bodies. There's another, looks like it's either a Chevette or Ford pickup truck. Another Ford. There's a Camaro there, 70s Camaro. Somebody told me that 70s Camaro actually had the 80s style wheels on it in the movie, but I don't remember. I didn't watch it close enough, I guess. Okay. Yeah, it does have the headrest on it. Okay. And yeah, that 31 C3100, I want to do that one. Definitely want to build that one. There's the 68 GTO right there behind the Volkswagen. There's another Bug. There's a bus. Here comes the Superbird coming up around the corner here. There's a big Pontiac back there. So Superbird. There's an MG or a Spider or something. A white Chevelle, a blue Chevelle with a white top. The 72. I'd like to do that one too, but there's not really a kit. You can do the 71. I think you need different taillights and a different front grille to do it, make it correct, along with a different hood. Yeah, right there. That scene was actually the interior in the 68 GTO. It wasn't in the 70. The 68 was the one that had that Hurst dual gate shifter in it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, there is an old Bronco that the football coach drove, but I don't think they don't show that in this set of clips, or any of the cars at the party at the end. you see the El Camino, they don't see that one in there. In any of these scenes, they don't see the El Camino at all. And that's the last scene of the movie. Them on their way to Houston to buy Aerosmith tickets. You can Amazon Prime. You can watch that for free over there. Watch the whole movie. Hey, Edward. We're doing pretty good here. Yeah, so I know there was 3 or 4 Chevelles in the movie. There was that blue one with the white top. In the very first scene, parking lot, there's one facing. You just see the tail end of it as the GTO's coming in. I think it's the GTO's coming in the parking lot. And there's a couple. I mean, if you sit and watch that movie, there are boatloads of cars. I say you'd be hard pressed to find something you didn't want to build. Anyway, so we now know that it did have the headrest, so we can go ahead and put the headrest on. Do I want to put them on now, or do I want to put them on after? I think we'll put them on after we paint. That would probably be the prudent thing to do. Make it easier. The clips will fit in there. This kit does come with a set of racing seats, so I'm going to have those spares for another build. There you are. They're actually they don't look too bad. They're kind of a bomber style seat. Yeah. So, show it's got the lap and shoulder belts on it. Kind of probably more, I guess, more of a fiberglass than like an aluminum bomber seat, but yeah, it does come with those too. Boom, boom, boom. Here comes the thunderstorm. Hopefully we don't lose power. Okay, so there is we need some more clips for the seats. Make sure my chat is scrolling. Yep. Then you guys want to pop in, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Because I was going to paint these, but not now because the storm is coming. We do a black interior, so I'm just going to basically spray them with black primer and then shoot a satin varnish over it and call it a day. Well, then we'll pick out some of the details. We will probably try to make a. Sorry, guys, my brain is mush. Shift boot with a manual shifter. So we'll probably do that. I do have some decals that I can use for the steering wheel and for the dash. That's one good thing with that 66. The real 66 GTL, the one I just finished, you get basically 2 sets of decals for a lot of the decals because it gives you a set for a light color and a set for dark color. So you pretty much get spares of everything. Most of the stuff, not everything, but most of it, you get spare parts. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, we can go work on this a little bit more, I guess. Da-da-da-da-da. And put these out of the way so we can. Yeah, I don't feel like dragging out the paint booth just to spend 2 minutes primering, so we'll just have to put that to the side for now. There's my heater hoses there. Okay, let's clean this mess a little bit. Black. Hey, Marcy. Hey, Britta. How you been? Haven't talked to you in a while. Oh, you're in Korea. Wow, I liked it when I got to visit Korea. It was a cool place. I'd like to go back someday. My brother-in-law was a fighter pilot in the Air Force, and him and my sister were stationed there for 2 years. I went there. I think I went there. Twice, I do believe. I think it was twice that I was there, and I really liked it there. All right, Tim. I might try to get into the Matt's broadcast tomorrow night if I'm available. See if it works out. I haven't been able to lately. Put a little flat black on this. They'll make a thin wash. Put it over top of this shiny blue engine to kind of dull it down a little bit. We can put some into the carburetor jets to bring out some of the detail. Let's face it, at the end of the day, this is an MPC kit, so we're not going to go through and plumb this whole thing. Not going to happen. Not going to do it. A little black wash goes a long way. Okay. Guess we could build our wheels. Congratulations on your marriage there, Britta. Hope you're happy and mazel tov and all those good things. Have a drink on me. Stop by on your way home and take you out and buy you a pint. Or at least wave when you fly over. If you fly over the U.S. on your way home. Of course, you'd probably go the other way. Probably go down through the Middle East and Asia to get there. Okay. I'm just waffling. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's put the wheels together. Make sure they're going to fit. The custom wheels for this kit are really nice. I'm definitely going to be using them somewhere. But on this kit, the car head just had the rallies on there, so that's all we're going to use. I thought about ordering a set of Resto Mod rallies with the 2122s, but I didn't do it. Good night, Britta. Okay, I need the wheel backs. Wheel backs. I think we have 2 different sizes depending on which wheels you use. I think. I don't remember. I haven't built this thing in a long time. That's what the instructions are for. Nope, okay, they use the same backs for both of them. Just the fronts are different sizes. They give you part numbers in the kit, but half the parts don't have numbers. Depends on what screw came from which tooling, whether or not it has. Whether or not the sprues have parts numbers on them. But we probably definitely got to cut those down because I don't want them to stick out too far. Yeah, we're gonna cut those down a little bit. Oh man, the pressure's really getting low. I can feel it in my hands. They're starting to stiffen up and lock up. I like to have my front wheels set in a little bit anyway. Makes the back ones look wider than they are. Where's my saw? And there's it is. There's the saw. Let's see. Those are the tall ones. And check to see. I pulled stuff out of there. See if they're in the same. Goodyear. 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 And Goodyear. Yes, I definitely want to shorten that up. I don't want them sticking out of the fenders. Let me see. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, where to put the other one? Is it still in the wheel? No, where did I put it? It's one I marked. Oh well, I got another one. If I lost, I can't find it. Or did I knock it off? Did I knock it on the floor? Yeah, just get another one. We have plenty. Yes, I really liked the time we got to spend there in Korea. Was visiting my sister. I mean, we did all the touristy stuff. I mean, okay, that's already shorter. So we want those anyway. Bonus points. Oh, I did drop that one. Oh, at least I see it. Okay. Yeah, I've drawn straight lines. Now can I cut straight lines? Yeah, so far here we've had a quiet night. We'll see what happens, but so far tonight it's been quiet. But she didn't sleep last night, and I took her swimming today, so she's probably tuckered out. And I gave her a sleeping pill, so. Okay, not perfect, but close enough. Close enough. Close enough for government work. Need to get me a new saw blade. This one's down to just have a teeth at each end. The ones in the middle are almost completely worn away. I don't remember what brand this one is. I'm working on the 70 GTO Judge for the Dazed and Confused group build. But I'm kind of parting it out of all my odds and end parts from around the from other GTO builds. But here's There's the body. And the wing that goes on the body. And I did start on the bare metal foil, but I realized one of the decals were screwed up, so I had to strip all the decals off and re-decaled it here tonight, so I have to wait to move on with the foil till tomorrow. Or the next time I get to sit down. It's the MPC 70. Yeah, MPC 70 GTO. That we're converting to be a judge. Actually, the one kit I bought came with the wing already in it and a set of decals, and I had bought decals to make it a judge, so I had extras. But they didn't match, so I had to strip. Even though I screwed up one, I had to strip them all off because the colors didn't match on the other decals yet. Oh no, what happens every time I finish a GTO, I just take all the parts, accumulated part GTO parts, and they go into that box. When that box fills, then I start the next box. So, like, this half are the kit parts that I still have. These are spares from the last, like, 2 builds, and then there's, like, another box or 2 full of just GTO parts in the other room. But the AMT MPC ones, they all share so many common parts that it's not too bad. And then the Revell ones are 24 scale instead of 25th because they're all monogram kits, but you get a lot of great decals and stuff like that. Just said my favorite cars that I owned were Pontiacs, so I'm kind of partial that way. Actually, I drive a Pontiac and a Ford right now, the 2 cars I have, so I'm not a Pontiac, a Chrysler and a Ford. A Pontiac on the brain. Obviously, because they don't make Pontiacs no more. Well, you just had, I liked them because you had just with the Pontiac, with the GTOs, for example. Over the course of the 10 years, basically they were around. You had so many cool different body styles on them, and the GTO technically is the first true muscle car that was ever out there. None of the manufacturers wanted to put big V8s into the mid-size cars, and the Iacocca kind of did it on the down low. And so the 64 and the GTO was just a trim package for the Pontiac Le Mans, and so you get the Le Mans with the bigger engine, 300 horsepower, small block Pontiac engine in it. So 389, I think it was. I don't remember. 389, that sounds right. And the optional 3 deuces intake. And 67 is kind of when they apparently kind of got it fine tuned in. And then your 68, 69, 70, 71, 72s, they were all. That's pretty much when you got GM starting standardizing everything. So, other than a few parts, I mean, the Buick, Olds, Pontiac, Chevrolets are all kind of the same cars with just a little few different detail parts, like different roll front and rear balances or headlight, tail light grills, stuff like that. But they were pretty much parts interchangeability, and then by 73 and 74, they were just basically Well, 74 was basically a 74 Nova with a different front and rear valance and a shaker a hood on it. And it just makes me, it's like, I'd rather they didn't have one than they had to do something like that. The one before it was just a Grand, 73 was like a Grand Prix. With GTO markings on it. And then I don't want to talk about that 2006 stuff. That was nasty. Okay. So we cut those down. Yeah, well, Camaro and Firebird always did have a lot of parts compatibility on them because, you know, basically operated on a lot of the same, you know, designs. Yeah, it's better. That will fit in. I don't have to worry about them hitting the fender. Okay, let's paint those. I need the ones for the back wheels. Yeah, I think the Camaro, both the Camaro and the Firebird came out in '67, but the Camaro came out earlier in the year. The Firebird didn't hit till like September when they finally got out into the wild. So they were like technically 67 and a half. So they weren't true 67s. And then the 68s when you really got big, and they changed between the 67 and the 68, they changed the grill, and they changed it again between the 68 and 69 too. But the same thing with Camaros was basically the front grill pieces changed over the years because I think they both even had, I think at one point had the gills on the side on the rear quarter in the same spots. And then the interiors, the Firebird interiors were a little more classy than the Camaro ones because the Camaro was considered to be more of the poor man's car. And the GTO was actually marketed originally to be sold to appeal to women, to be sold to women. Because it was supposed, that was the mid-size car. That was one of the mid-size car to put up against to get the ladies to buy as opposed to the Mustangs, which was also designed to be a ladies' car. Well, until those guys got aboard them and horsepowered them up. But that's enough, I guess, waffling on the. Yeah, it worked out. Okay, I need the two back hubs for the other wheels. Let me get those painted. I think we'll just paint those with the paint pen. We may have to shorten those backs too. We'll see. Oh, you remember the days when you could just build a kit out of the box and call it a day? Yeah, those will be all right because I want to look a little wider. Anyhow, that'll work. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Yeah, I had a 73 Vega. It still had the aluminum block. It had a semi-automatic transmission. So you had to shift it manually, but it didn't have a clutch pedal, which I thought was kind of weird, but that's the way it was. It worked. And it was the wagon, so if I had weird thoughts about turning it into a mid-engine, because it was a two-door wagon. To leave it as a two-seater and put the engine behind the front seats, put a firewall in it, glass firewall or plexiglass, and have an engine sit behind the front seats to transfer weight back to make it more faster-y. Yeah, the Vegas and the Camaros did look a whole lot alike. They were almost like mini Camaros. And Las Vegas is another kind of cool, useless information thing. They were engineered so that when they were shipped by rail car, they actually were went into the rail car vertically. They designed the engine and stuff so that the oil wouldn't run out of the car when it got tipped up on its nose in the rail car to ship it, because they could put. So yeah, they called them Vertipacks. I got a picture somewhere of that. It was weird. That was the only car they ever did it for. Where it shipped standing on its nose. Let's see. That one work. Nope, that's too big. Put my drill. That's kind of too small. This one. Just gonna do the wheel backs. Just gonna use the paint pen because it's something you're not gonna see anyway. Because I don't put my cars up on the mirrors at a show, anything like that. Anyhow. So if it's kind of wheel colored, even though from this side you'd most likely be seeing the black side of the brake drum anyway, so it wouldn't be silver, but except for the actual rim, but that's okay. They want to dock me points for having it be the wrong color, then they can knock themselves out. If they got dock me points because my wheel backs are the wrong color, then they need a different life. Yeah, we go about 20 more minutes and then we'll call it a night. I'm going to try again, as you know, everything is fluid. If I can, I'm going to try to be on Friday night for a while too. And also, if you talk to Fafa or Red the Wind or Lieutenant Dan, Gary and Dan set up a 24/7 Zoom group page thingy. So you see a lot of the guys are in there in the afternoons and stuff with a lot of the European guys, and in the evenings, I think they were there all day today. Got a couple messages where people were there. And it's an off-air hangout, so we don't have to watch our languages, and we can talk about things that go pew pew without worrying about being shut down. And the other idiocracy of this country right now, which I don't want to get into, but yeah, because this is not a political show. I leave that to Cliff. Get me a new one. This one's about empty. Yeah, and I also had a lot of old beaters floating around over the years too. We had a 67 C10 and a 68 C10 that we both got both of them from a farm auction. The 67 C10, they both had the straight six 3-speed. The 67 burned more oil than it did gas, but it was fine for farting around town or hauling trash to the dump or whatever. And the other one, the 68, we put a camper shell on it, and when we went camping or hunting, that was the hunting truck. You can put all your hunting gear in the back. And between my brothers and I, we had a pretty eclectic collection of vehicles over the years. My brother had one of the Pontiac Phoenixes, which was basically the Pontiac version of the Chevy Citation. Not a bad car, but it was kind of funky looking. So I had 280Z for a while. I liked that car a lot. My sister had a Mitsubishi Starry, and that was a badass little car. It was tiny. It was scary fast though. I didn't. The freaking factory twin turbos in it. It was kind of cool, if you're going up and down the mountains or something, or out on the interstate in Kansas in the middle of the night when you can wind it up. But it get kind of scary to drive sometimes. But yeah, I think after this GTO, I think I'm gonna break out a plane of some sort to build. I'm kind of itching to do something that flies. I don't know if I'll do another. I don't even know what I got back. Well, I know what I got back there, but towards the top of the build pile, I think I got a Tamiya F15. I'm wanting to build. What else I got back there? Oh, I got a couple big 132nd scale ones, but I don't want to get into those right now. There's a couple P-47s and a Corsair back there. Those are the big ones. I got some of the big bombers. I don't want to really do those. Probably pick out a fighter or something, like a Monogram, something. He was in the process of moving, but I don't know if he's down south yet or not. I mean, this house is there. The motorhome that they're going to live in is down there, or trailer, or whatever, motorhome, trailer, camper, whatever that is. is there, but I'm not sure if he is physically there yet. Yeah, I mean, I got the 37 Ford for Brian's build, but that's it's a 1 day a month thing, and I'm just kind of getting burned on cars a little bit, so I don't have any armor back there. I may, if I end up in the town and go to the hobby shop this week, I may look and see if there's any armor that trips my trigger. Just did the Star Trek ship, so I'm kind of had my fill of sci-fi for a little bit. I don't have any figures, and I don't really want to get into figures, so that knocks that out. So that kind of leaves airplanes or ships. Well, I ain't got room to start I ain't got room to start that Constitution or the Patience right now, so that's definitely on hold. Yeah, we'll pull out a plane of some sort to build, I think, next. Maybe do a dual build, do a car and the plane, because planes are a whole lot of hurry up and wait. It's all done in small sub-assemblies that have to dry. Well, we now have Ollie's here, Marcy, so I did go to Ollie's and I picked up like 4 or 5 kits for $13 a piece. Some of them were just for shits and giggles, but what did I get? I bought the Concept Camaro, the Snap Tight one, because I like the decals on that one. I bought one of the 56 or 57 Thunderbirds, the Revell one, or might even be a 58. I don't remember, the pink one. Then I bought another one of those Ford Raptors just to put in the stash, and then I can't remember what the fourth one was that I bought. I bought 4 kits when I was there, and they opened up another new one yesterday. It's even closer to my house, so I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna run down there this week and see what they got, and swing by the hobby shop. But yeah, I don't remember what the other fourth one was that I bought. Bought the Camaro, the Thunderbird, the Raptor. Wasn't the Buick, because I picked that up from Michael's. I don't even remember what it was now. Oh well, I probably bought it just for giggles. But I'll go. So I'm gonna go to the new Ollie's, the brand new one, and see what they got. Anything new or exciting or different? If they do, I'll probably snag a couple. Well, but here they bought up. They're buying or leasing out all the Big Lot stores that we had that all went out of business. So they're like every 3 or 4 weeks, they're one of the used to be Big Lots are reopening as the Ollie's. If they do keep doing that, then there'll be one just a half hour's drive from me, which would be really nice. Yeah, I'll build just about anything. Or just whatever. Well, I've been to 2. There's 4 of them in the city right now. I've been to 2 of them. One didn't have any, or I had one. Only thing it had was the Ford Raptor. Went to the second one. They had a fairly good selection, but not the big selection I've seen a lot of pictures of. And the one, I got them on special sale. That's the only reason I bought them. They had online special sale going, free shipping and 30% off. So I ordered them online, and so I paid like $20 a piece for them. So it wasn't too bad. Yeah, one of the ones I've been to had a fair amount of kits, and that's where I bought the 4 different ones. The other one just had the one, and I haven't been to the other 2. They're on this side of the river anyway in St. Louis to see what they have. But I think a lot of them have a lot of same stuff. The tractor, and they had a bunch of the Atlantis. Yeah, so they were like $23. I bought the GS Buick, and I can't forget what the other one even was that I bought. Again, I bought 2 kits from them. I forget now what the other one even was. Yeah, they sent me a text and thing, with a special sale deal on it. So I went through and looked at seen what they had. And oh, the other I bought another one of those flip nose Malibus. That's what was the other one I got from Michaels on their special super secret sale deal. I bought another one of those Chevelle Malibu flip noses to build down the line or part out, whichever comes first. Well, even at Hobby Lobby, even with the 40% off, they've jacked up the prices there a lot too. Because you're paying the tariff taxes are starting to hit. They're averaging about $2 to $3 increase in price on those kits. Any of the new kits they're getting in are about $2 or $3 more than what they were last time they had them. But you can still get the Chevelle and the Nova for like $16 a piece. So all's right with the world there. We were safe. We have parts for now. But yeah, I go to the hobby shop. I mean, I like going there, but you're not going to come out with. There's not a car kit in there probably that's under $36. Yeah, I know, but they should be $20 all the time, $24 for those kits all the time, but they're not going to do it. And the mom and pops, you're not going to get it there, so it's still kind of like the cheapest place in town for a lot of those kits, other than shows. But there's not enough shows around us out here that you can rely on that. So I'll grab what I can when I find it cheap. And we're talking earlier when Jeff was in about and read prices on like some of the old Johan kits. It's like, man, I don't think I've ever paid more than $50 for a car kit for sure, unless it was something I absolutely had to have. Yeah, I do too. I mean, I'll go to Mark Twain, but a lot of times I'll go there and get my supplies, and I'll go through and see if there's something that I want. But as far as the quick, your Novas and your Chevelles and stuff like that, the 55 Chevys, and you can't hardly beat it. You got to go where the price is, especially when you're on fixed income. So, okay, 2 short ones. Yeah, those are the short ones. Alrighty. Yeah, we can do CA on those. That'll work. Yeah, even Johan's the only one that I've ever bought. The most it was like $45, which I thought was way too much for what it was. But I bought it just to give the Fafa. So. And I do buy a lot of kits from the mom and pop, and I buy them from them online, because I think it was 50. Now I think it's 69. And if you spend more than $69 on an online order, it's free shipping. So I can't drive down there and pick the stuff up in person for that. And I usually, if they've got it, well, they have it in stock. I usually get it depending on the day of the week. Hey, Terry. Depending on the day of the week, the order, I usually get it within 2 days, 3 at the most. If I order on Thursday, I don't get it till Monday. But if I order like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I get it 2 days from them. But yeah, I get probably 3 or 4 times a year. I get emails from them for sales, and then they had at Mark Twain, they had the last weekend. I think it was last weekend. They had a yard sale, swap meet type thing there one day that for you can bring in swap meet kits, or you could or they had their scratch and dents and white elephants and stuff they were selling. I was wanted to go to that, but things didn't work out. So every time I've tried to talk them into going to one of the local shows, they just don't want to do it. They don't want to be bothered with it. I even offered, I'll come down the day before and we'll pick out, 100, 120 kits or whatever. And we'll write it down, and I'll take them, sell them, and inventory them back in when they're gone, and pay you less 10% or whatever for whatever I sell. And they just weren't interested. They do have leveling center in stock there. So if anybody's needing leveling center, or they did last time I was there, needs to order any leveling center, they did have that there. Yeah, that was the other thing they had. They had a bunch of like the boats and planes and the Atlantis, 124th scale, or whatever, not 124th, the 132nd scale trucks. The old, I guess they were old Aurora kits, I guess, or Revell or Aurora, the 132nd ones. They had a bunch of those there. But yeah, if Mom's in the mood, we may run into the city tomorrow and go check out what the new store has, and say run by Mark Twain and see what they've got going on. And nothing else, I could always use a couple more cans of primer. I don't think I've ever gone in there without ever buying something. I can always find something to buy. Brass rods, styrene stock, model kit. Go through their scratch and dent stuff. That's estate. They buy estates once in a while, and they have it there in the shop. So we go there and see either tomorrow, or have to be tomorrow, I guess, because I have doctor on Thursday. Means I just, was it 1,500 or was it 1,000? I just bought some. Yeah, he had it at Mark Twain. Mr. Surface, they're 1,500 black in the can. I don't know. I didn't have any of the bottles. The regular they had in the cans. He didn't have. It did not have the bottles that you can mix and airbrush. All they had was the cans of the 1500. I think he had some of the 1000 bottle. Hell, let me look. I can look for you real quick. So they've got it. You can order it from them and say they do like next day. Mr. Surfacer. ACR 1500. The gray and the black and the bottles are out of stock. They have the spray 1000, 1500 black spray. They do have the Mr. Servicer 1200 and the white, and Mr. Servicer 1000. I don't want here. Let me do this way. It'd be easier. Here, make sure it's loading up. There we go. I'll go back up to the top. Yeah, they say they're out of the 1500 gray, out of the 1500 black in the bottle. They had the 1000 in the white, and the spray cans. Another one, red, 1000, 1500 in the black, 1200 in the white. These are 500 and 1000 in the gray. There's the small spray cans. They got 1000, 500, 1200. There's the UV cut gloss spray. They had that. Or no, I did not have that. It's out of stock. But their website is hobby1, hobby the number one.com, Mark Twain Hobby. And yeah, that was all the Mr. Surfacer. They do have some. They don't have it all, but they do have some. And let me go back to their homepage. Free shipping on any orders over $70. And if it shows in stock on the website, it is in stock because they have a live inventory. That's the word I was looking for. Paint, glues, and accessories there. They do have some Pegasus wheels and stuff like that. You can go in there and go nuts. They have a huge selection of model kits. I did about a year or 2 years ago. I did a video there showing some of just the model kit section. Basically, you got 20-foot long aisles, 24-foot long aisles that are shelving, goes up 10 feet. And there's one side, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's probably 6 shelves like that of kits that are just packed as full as you can get. One side of one rack has all the sci-fi stuff, and then the next one has all the armor. Or probably the next two, I don't remember in order. Probably aircraft. The next 2 aisles are all aircraft. The next 2 are armor. Armor on one side and cars on the other. And then the last aisle is a lot of this miscellaneous stuff, and that's just plastic kits. That doesn't count the wood stuff. But yeah, it was probably a year or so ago that I did that video. It was kind of a crappy video because there was a lady in there bitching the whole time so I had to chop the video up pretty bad. And then I was trying to limp through there with my cane and taking, so the shots weren't all that steady, but it would give you an idea what they kind of had. So look back and see what it was, when it was. This way, let me go to the manage page. That's a lot easier to scroll through. If it'll load. Set it for 50 per page. I think I titled it like Mark Twain Hobby Tour or something like that. Let me find it. If I do go there tomorrow, I'll shoot some pictures again, and I'll do another video. Do another more current one. If it's not so busy, I can kind of concentrate on it a little bit more, spend a little more time doing it without being in people's ways. And say that lady was in there pitching a fit about something. I don't even remember what she was pissed about. She was pissed about something. I think I went there after a show, so it was probably in September. I don't think that was one of the ones that got screwed up by YouTube. It might have been. And it was about 2 years ago when YouTube made a complete mess out of my channel. And I reloaded what I could and tried to find where I had other computers, tried to download and re-upload what I could. I probably lost 80 or 100 videos. Back when I had time to do long form videos for builds, like 8 and 10 part series and stuff like that. 48-hour group builds would have like 6 videos, 10 minutes a piece. It might be one that got lost. I'm not seeing it. Back up. I'll go back a little bit further. Yeah, I thought it must have been one of the ones. Let me try one more search. Mark Twain Hobby Shop Tour. There it is. It does still exist. Okay, let me close a couple of these out so it'll play better. Here, I'll run it. It's I think it's only, well, we'll fast forward through it because it's like 13 minutes. It's just to give you an idea a little bit what they have. Come on, change. There you go. Let me blow it up. And we'll hit play. Yeah, that's their website, hobby1.com. Vallejo spray. You got a lot of stuff like that. There's tools. Again, Gary, right now I'm working on a 670 GTO Judge for the Dazed and Confused group build. Testers bottles. There's Tamiya bottles. Let's see. Kind of quick. Tamiya paints. LP paints there. Then you go into the Vallejo. Big ammo stuff. There's your Mr. Color, Mr. Hobby stuff over there. Jump ahead. That was all glue there. Bob Reed Smith stuff. Insecure, all that good stuff. Here we go. This time they had again, I was like, they had the estate sale of stuff, so they had all the end caps were all kits, so you can see how big the aisles were for model kits, and all these end caps were all stuff from an estate sale. So both sides of the sale are all the brands, Aoshima, Fujimi, all those, Revell, all those stuff. Let me. There's AMT stuff there. All the NASCAR stuff, JR Salvinos, all that goodies. Motorcycles, Indy cars and stuff, Tamiya kits. Leary. There's your AK stuff. Alclad. Got some more stuff in there too. Sci-fi. So yeah, it's all stacked floor to ceiling. This video is a little bit old. I was pointing out the new stuff that just come out. You get those are a lot of those are wooden kits. a bunch of the anime stuff, more tools, woodland scenic scenery type stuff, dioramas. Just again, the estate sale stuff. And then, yeah, it's the same deal. Aisles and aisles of airplanes. Anyway, yeah, that's Twain. So, yeah, that's when the lady was going off about something. Okay. So, yeah, so that's Mark Twain. So, their website is hobby1.com. And you order $70 worth of stuff. Night, Marcy. From them, it's free shipping. Yeah, Gary, I'm working on. So I was working on the 70 GTO Judge. I screwed up the decals on it, so I had to strip some of the decals and redo those. I was started doing the bare metal foil when I realized the decals were goobered, so I kind of stopped on the foil to fix the decals. But I got those fixed. Let's see, that kind of blend. The lights kind of blow them out. Let's see there. You can see them a little better. It's got the stripes on the side of the car. So, yeah, we're working on that. Just finished putting together the wheels and tires. Got the chassis about done. I was going to paint the interior tonight, but it's raining, so I can't do that. So that's kind of where we're at. So what time is it now? It is 20 after 9 for me here locally. So I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. I'm going to try if I can get work it out. If Mom's not having a bad night on Friday night, I'm going to try to come in and do another live. Hopefully maybe get a few more people in on the actually on screen. So we'll try that. If not, I'll probably be on Saturday night on Brian's for a while. So that Jeff, you always email me, have any questions or want to talk about on the in the private Zoom room of Dan's and Gary's. Some days you just never know when I have time to sit down to do things when Mom's not having issues. So, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, and we'll try to be here on Friday. If not, we should be back hopefully next Tuesday. Again, if all goes well in the world. So with that, I'll say good morning, good evening, good night, depending on where you are here in this theater world. Spinning forwards or backwards, upside down, and we'll see you next time, guys.